Guys, in our previous video, we looked at VIX 75 minus. Now we're going to be taking a look at VIX 75. So once again, this is our daily time frame, and we're just using this to look at the overall bias of the market. So basically, we understood that the market was actually going in a downtrend, and then it's currently ranging. I'd say it's ranging because from this particular point here, the market has not made any successful move as to whether it's going in an uptrend or in a downtrend, and this low here has not been taken out. This low has not been taken out here. I mean, this is the swing low, and even this previous lower low has not been successfully taken out. So you see, that's hence the reason why I said the market is ranging. And this high here also has not been taken out, so we can't successfully say, oh, it's actually probably in a downtrend or in an uptrend ideally. But from the look of the markets internally, it's breaking structures to the downside. So that's why I still said, in as much as it's ranging, it's still giving sell momentum, okay, which is still in a downtrend technically. From the daily time frame, we might not be able to see it clearly, but then the more we go down to maybe our intermediate and maybe the lower time frames, we'll tend to see it clearer. So from the daily perspective, basically we are not seeing anything as at this point. We're not seeing anything. The only thing I can successfully say we're seeing is these internal moves. Sorry, although these ones will be much more clear on the 4 hours, but just like I said, though, still on the daily there's nothing, right? Still ranging. So if you're looking at trading within this daily zone, you're looking at maybe, if you're looking at buying, right, you're looking at buying to this side, and then if you're looking at selling, you're looking at selling to this point. So it's just basically just trading within the range until it breaks out technically, right? So now we're going to look for opportunities on how we could trade even still inside this range. So I don't know if I think we should keep this box, or no, let me just get this so that we could mark the high and then the low here, right? And then the low, sorry, so that we could just have a range that we could work with. So any other thing that we're looking out for should be done within the range here, right, that we have. So I'm just going to change this color so it would be much more understandable for us. So I'm probably thinking of using white. Yeah, I think white works okay. So just like I said, now that we have our daily range in place, what we need to be looking out for is going down to our lower time frame and then seeing how we can trade within this same set range. Okay, so basically we're looking at a buying bias, right? A bullish scenario whereby the market will buy all the way to the top of the range, right, which is at 115809. But this is just from a daily perspective. It could still come back all the way down, just like it did previously at this section. Yeah, it could still do the same thing. It bought up and then came back down. So it could literally do the exact same thing. No one knows. All right, so let's go back to, or rather, let's go down to our 4 hours and then see what we can spot from that time frame. So from our 4 hours, it's still giving us that same range. I think this is much more fine-tuned. Okay, we still have the range in play, but then look at something. Price was making a particular pattern here. I think it should be particular pattern here. The price was making, right? Price was literally respecting this trend line. You could see that it touched multiple times. I think 5 times, right? 5 times, and then it broke out of the trend. So obviously, what we're waiting for, anticipating a probable retest and then a buy to the upside. And what do we have? We have this, which is a bullish move from, I'm supposing this is from the lower time frame. Obviously, if you go down to your lower time frame, you'd easily spot it clear. So we have this is a continuation and then a breakout from the trend line, which is giving us a buy situation, right, or a bullish momentum. And just like I said earlier, even just spotting it from the daily time frame, we're looking at buying to this white horizontal line that we have. So I think this is just making it a bit much more clearer for us to, to see and then to follow. So with that being said, I think our 4 hour has given us the direction already. It was actually bearish, and then price has broken structure to the upside, giving a bullish move. So we are anticipating probably that bullish wave, and then we're just going to target the horizontal line, like I said. So What do we wait for? What are we anticipating? A probable retest, or we look for a good position as to how we could continue in the bullish momentum. Now, another thing we need to look out for is this. On the this did not actually break out with full body, right? This did not actually break. It just broke out with the week. So there's every tendency that I don't think it's straight. Yeah. So there's every tendency that this market might actually, just come back into the zone and keep on selling. All right, because this was not a clear breakout from this particular high. This is the last reasonable lower high that was created. Okay, because we have the low, which is this one down here. Sorry, let me just get this thing. Okay, so we have the low, which is this, right? And then this is the lower low, and then this is the lower high that was created. And then I won't count this one down here. This place here is not a lower low because it failed to break this previous low that we had. So that's why I said this is the last reasonable lower high that was created. And as you can see, the market did not break with a valid body. It broke with just the week. Some people might use this, but I don't think this is ideal, to be honest. I don't think this particular level is ideal, so we'll just put it back here. You could use this as your probable inducement level, for price to tap into this, and then maybe look for your sell all the way down. If you've gotten your sell confirmation, okay, you can use that to sell. But we're still analyzing, so we can't deduce if we're buying or selling us at this point. So this is what the 4 is giving us. Like I said, it did not break out with its full body, so there's every tendency that the market is still going to sell all the way back down. Inducement has been taken out, and then price has reacted, sweeping the available liquidity above this lower high. So there's every tendency that it might still sell, come down right before maybe buying or something. So this is what the 4 hour is telling us. Let's go down to the 1 hour and then see what the 1 hour has in stock for us. So from the 1 hour, we're still going to maintain everything, the whole trend line and everything. We're going to maintain all. So from the 1 hour, we could see that the market was bullish, or rather is bullish, because it's still buying. The market is actually bullish. But then remember the 4 hours was a bearish scenario, but then gave us a break of structure, or rather a break of trend. Sorry, a break of trend, which is this guy here that broke this 4 hour trend line. Let me change it to purple, so when I'm explaining, we have more clearer picture. Sorry, yeah. So the 4 hour broke above this purple trend line, right? Which is literally tells that the market wants to switch from bearish to bullish, and then the 1 hour is giving us a bullish continuation, almost like what we had with the 75 1S. Okay, so with this now we can actually look out for. I think the best thing to do here is to go down to our lower time frame and see what they're telling us, because the daily is ranging, but even inside the range is still giving us sell scenarios. The 4 hours is selling, obviously, mind you, all of them are still inside the range, so we're trading within the range though. But the 4 hours is giving us a sell move, except for this current price action that just broke out of this sell trend line. Then the 1 hour is currently giving us a bullish move. So you see that basically all the higher time frames are contradicting. 1 hour is ranging, 4 hours is selling, and then 1 hour is buying. So we need to look down. We need to go down to a lower time frame to see what we can spot. Okay, if there's any ideal entry point or any ideal price action that needs to be looked upon. So let's look at the M15. Okay, so the M15 was actually buying until this particular point where market failed to break this structure that we earlier labeled on our higher time frame. If you remember, the market failed to break that structure. So our M15 is giving us sell scenarios. Why? How is it giving us sell scenarios? It's giving us lower highs and presentation of lower highs and lower lows. God, what's wrong with me? Sorry, lower highs and lower lows. All right, so I still have this trend line for which we could use. But I feel like it would have been much more clearer on the maybe M5 or something. Anyways, this is what we have on the M15. Let me just adjust this a little. So we have on the M15. So this other candle that is being printed now has like literally 2 minutes, sorry, to finish closing. So we determine the bias of the market. If it closes back into the range, then we're most likely supposed to be looking for sell structures, right? And then take the price all the way down. So I'm basically not interested in this trade. Reason being that, one, it's going to be a very short trade. So if I'm taking my sell or my buy, for instance, in this case my sell rather, I'm just going to be targeting this trend line, and then yeah, if I'm taking myself, I'm going to just target this trend line, because that's the 4-hour retest. There's every chance that I might equally come back down here, but we don't know yet. Okay, so we're still going to just be working with what the 4-hour is giving us, and then if it breaks below this, then there's every possibility that it's going to come down here. Okay, so but for now we're going to be working with this. So for me, it's I don't know, the trade is not looking. I mean, if I'm going to take this, then my stop loss is going to be like almost a 1:1 risk to reward, and it's not appealing. As at this point, it's not appealing at all. So yeah, that is it for the 15 minutes. So the 15 minutes is equally giving us sell. Obviously the 5 minutes, 3 minutes, they're all supposed to be giving us sells also. So yes, as you can see, they're all giving us 5 minutes is equally giving us a sell, right? Now if actually we're supposed to be looking out for this trade, in as much as it has invalidated this trend line, we're certain of one thing: there are lots of probable sellers that have entered into this market or this trade, and if the market decides to buy up, it's probably meant to go take out that liquidity from those early sellers, right? And then it keeps selling to the downside. So I think this is much more ideal, yeah, like this. So if the market decides to do that, simply means it's going to take out their positions, right? Their orders, their sell orders, before it keeps on buying, or probably selling rather. So if it takes out their positions, right, let's use this tool. Let's say early sellers that sold here because of the trend line they had, they sold here. Some sold here. I don't know, I'm not sure any would sell here because you need like 2 points. So let's look at here and then here. And if this market decides to buy up, probably to take them out, right? Early sellers, to use them out, because some of them have adjusted their stop loss to break even, and then some have set buy orders, buy stops that should in case the market breaks above. So if market does this, we still need to look out for the price action that the market will create before taking an ideal trade. So if it takes out these two guys here, this one, and then breaks above them and gives me a sell confirmation, then of course I'm going to have to take my sell 100% to the downside, because this is giving me a much more tighter SL, right, to work with. And then if I'm targeting it's giving me a much more tighter SL to work with, and then my risk to reward is a bit higher. So I would obviously take it if it's coming from that particular zone or that particular level. So let's go back to the 5 minutes. So you can see the risk to reward is a bit higher, right? So if you're taking your trade here, your stop loss just above, that's high. So it's okay. It's okay. So that's basically one of the things I'll be looking out for. Another thing is, if it breaks inside the same range back, right, this trend line, if it breaks into the trend line without tapping into those guys, then I might consider selling and then placing my stop loss just above this guy here, right? If it breaks back into the zone, right, into the trend line, I'm going to take my sell and then place my stop loss just above this guy, like I said. And then my take profit still at the bottom part, which we earlier labeled. It might not be like a really high risk to reward, but I think it's more than 1:3. I suppose it should be more than 1:3. So that's basically what we'll be doing. But like I said, I'm looking at the bigger picture here. So going back to the 1 hour, sorry about that, going back to the 1 hour, I'm looking at the bigger picture. Should it come back here for a retest, then I'm looking at buying if I have all my criteria to take a buy from this particular point of interest. So that's just one key thing to look out for. I'm trying to see if we have probably like a channel like formation here. So this could equally be, sorry, let me adjust it properly. So we equally have on this channel a breakout. So basically we're having like several confluences, okay, as to why we could probably take a buy. So even if I do not take this sell down to this point, I think I'll look out for the buy more, because it's giving me more confluence as to why this buy should hold as opposed to this sell. And besides, the sell is a short-term sell, so I'm looking at buying VIX 75, right? I'm looking at buying it to this zone 115809 that we have, uh, like I said, I'm really not all that interested in the sell, so I'll just look out for the buys instead. And if a good buy opportunity presents, then we'll take the buy. So I think it's best to even scrap the sell. Yeah, let's scrap the sell setup. So anything sells, I'm just going to have to cancel it and then wait for a proper buy. Okay, I did not actually see this initial channel. If I did, I don't think I would have debated on probably taking this sell. So we're just going to have to wait and then allow the price to come to us, and then we look for good entry points to take our buys. I feel like this might take a little while to come all the way down, but I would have really loved us to take this trade live and just look at the results maybe in the next video if it plays out well or if it doesn't, so we could get acquainted to the strategy and then the candlestick formation and all that. So I'll be looking out for chart patterns, candlestick confirmations before we enter that particular trade. So I use my 3 minutes time frame for confirmation. I know it's not ideal, but it's a time frame I'm comfortable with, and it gives me that tight SL. So I have like a way better risk to reward ratio. So that's why I love using the 3 minutes time frame. Some even use 5 minutes if you want to. 5 is okay, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like three is my thing. So yeah, that's basically it for week 75. I'll try and look at another pair so we can have 3 that we're looking out for today. Then let's try more often, try getting 3 pairs, like maybe every single day. Let's see what we can do. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.